All right, what's going on, guys? Today, tonight, tomorrow, however long this takes, I'm going to be making a bash bar. It's gonna stick out from my fog light holes and come around, and I'm gonna weld everything myself with my $2 million welder and my 18,000 year experience of knowing how to weld. That's a long time, actually, but this is what I'm going for. That little bar. Shout out to my boy, not my boy, just a random guy off of Instagram. I saw this when I was just surfing through, and I like that look a lot. I'm not gonna go that off-roady. It's gonna just match my rally look, rally style that I'm going for. I have like part show car, kind of, and I'm gonna do like part off-road because I like to take my car off-roading. And so I'm gonna try to make one myself. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing to make it. So right here I have an angled piece of metal. I'm not sure what type of metal this is. This is I actually got this at my my auto shop teacher has this big scrap trailer that he has a bunch of scrap on, and so this was actually table legs. Like this went up all the way, like really far, and this was a table, and so it sat down on this. So I asked him if I could just borrow them, so I cut 4 of them off. I'm only gonna need 2, but these are extra. 2 of them are extra, and so what I did is one of them, 2 of them, whatever, I ground one side out because this is what I'm gonna weld this pipe to stick out. And then these 2 holes that were drilled, that I just drilled out, I'm gonna be bolting these to the frame of my car. Let me show you. This is gonna go up in there, bolt to the frame, have the pipe stick out here, and then I'm gonna go across it like that. I have like no idea how to do this, kind of, whatever, so I'm doing it myself. I've never done anything like this. I never actually welded. You can see these are the meanest beads of 2017. All that slag is supposed to be there. It gives it like a texturized look. I did that on purpose, definitely. But what I have here is, I went to O'Reilly's just now and got some grade 8 bolts, because if these are going to be what's holding the whole thing to my car, I'm going to want it to be good. So I got these, and that's what I'm going to use. Stick it through and bolt it on. I want to be able to take this on and off. So these are what I'm using. I don't know if it's going to be strong enough. That there's that number. It's easier to find it like that. 7/16, 1/4, A6. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And what you need to do first is take the front bumper off. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, and on my car I have a 2001 Subaru Impreza. This should work on the 98201, I think, Impreza. I'm not sure, I don't remember just off the top of my head. But what you need to do first is take off the headlight. I already took one off and set it over there. There's 2 bolts, screw, this pops out. And then there's 2 bolts right here. And this headlight will just pull out after you disconnect the headlight, and then this parking light will come off when you untwist that. You take that off, you take your grill off. Mine's already busted, so I just have it zip tied on, so I just cut it real fast. But you take all that off, and then once you do that, there's these little push pins you have to take off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top, and then you have the bracket on each side. Mine's already broke off, so I don't have to worry about that. And then underneath the car, there's 2, one up here, like one lower underneath it, and one here and lower. Probably not gonna be able to see it with the lighting, but you can see one right there. And the other one is right there, right by the fog light. There. To that, and then there to that. And then once you take all those off, you can just slide the bumper completely off. Alright, next what you want to do is with your angled piece, since this is bolting to the vehicle, and the only reason I'm using this is because I need to be able to put a pipe on here. And so what you want to do is find a nice piece to bolt this to that's nice and strong. So on my Subaru, I have 2 tow hooks, one on that side, one on this side, and it's connected directly to the frame. This is thick and I can drill through it, and there's nothing on the other side. And so I took my bumper off, that way I can get the drill inside of there, and so I can just make it way easier to assemble everything. And the reason I'm bolting it and not just welding it is because I want to be able to take this off if I ever wanted to. And so what I'm going to do now is mock it up and whatever, and in order to do that I'm going to have to cut this piece, my finger ends here. So I got my $1 million 4.5 inch angle grinder, and I'm going to cut. And also what I did, since my wiring harness is right here, I zip tied it up, and I think that's my airbag sensor or whatever. And then you might have this piece too. Mine was held on by one little push pin. My other side ripped off when I went in the mud, and I never found it. But it's just your fender liner, you don't even need it technically. But so I pulled that back so I can get to this plate right here. That's solid metal, and I can drill through it easy. So when I mock it up, it'll look like that, and I have a drill with a drill bit that'll pierce through this, so I'll be able to bolt everything together. And then once I got that done, I'm weld my pipe onto that. Alright, so what I just did is I cut this piece of metal off. Ow, that's hot, but it was right here and went across, and that was in the way. So I cut it right on the edge, just enough. And then I also had to hammer this down a little bit, and I hammered that out a little bit. And now I can perfectly place this to where it's flat, and then I can angle it up if I wanted to, or down. I'm probably just gonna make it straight. And now what I can do is I can drill through and make sure, if you're doing this, check what's on the other side. And if you see, ow, there's nothing important. If you go too far back, you're just gonna hit this angled piece right here. And where I'm lined up, it shouldn't matter that much. If anything, I'll figure it out, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drill through and see what happens. Now, I haven't even started on the other side, but you see the same concept there. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so what I've done is there's a little ridge here, so I hammered it down after grinding it down a little bit. And then I laid up under it, like my head was here looking up, and I tried to align this and see, because there's a little hump on the other side where it would go through, but I couldn't put a nut on the back. And so what I did is I got a paint marker and I stuck it through and marked the holes or whatever. And so I lined it up and did it. And see, I marked right there, but I realized I could go a little bit more without hitting this ridge and without messing up on the back. Because you can barely see my finger. My finger is touching that ridge, so I have just enough room. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that, probably bolt that on and get it at the right angle. And then I'm going to have to drill like right on this edge. I might cut that edge out or do something with that and then drill through it. And then once that's done, I'll just leave that there. I might weld the pipe on tonight, but I haven't even started on the other side. And when you do this, make sure you start with a smaller bit. This is the bit I started with, and it took me a while because this is an old one, not really made for steel. So I got that through, and now I'm working on this one to go all the way through. And then once I get it all the way through, I'll bore it out a little bit and bolt it on, line it up right, and then I'll do the bottom hole from this. I'll probably mark it and then re-drill, and then I'll have my mount good from there. Alright, so I bolted this up. I have a nut on the other side of the frame. The frame's actually not as thick as I thought. I got a 2-inch bolt, and you'll only need like one like that, maybe an inch, and that's all you need. And so I bolted that up, and I tightened it to where I can still move it. And I have this pipe that I'm using, and I had it lined up, seeing if I wanted it down or higher. And so I have it flush and at the right angle. So then I got my paint marker and did it right there. And now I'm going to drill a hole through that and do the same thing. And then I have my mounting piece mounted. Alright, I got both holes drilled, and I drilled the bolts in and got the nuts on and everything. And this is pretty fucking solid. It moves a little bit, but I mean actually not a little bit, just barely. And it came out a little lower than I wanted. Like when you put this on, it's a little low. But all I can do to fix that is I can just grind this at an angle, or more at an angle. So when I put it on, it'll sit like that. So whenever I weld this onto this flat piece of whatever metal, it'll be up higher, because it ended up being lower than I wanted it to. So I'll just do that. And now I'm going to do the opposite side. It's going to be the same as this side, so I don't really need to record it. I'll record it if anything happens that's not supposed to happen, but I got these in, and now I'm going to do the other side. Alright, well, I got the other side mounted. I'm going to finish for tonight. Next thing I got to do is weld this pipe onto the plate, and I have to cut out another piece like that. I have to cut them out, and hopefully I can get them to line up, because they're mounted pretty much the same, but the pole still has to come out at the same direction, so it'll be flat, because I'm going to weld a flat piece on to the points that stick out, and then I'm going to go sideways around, and then I'm going to build a piece that goes up at the front. So the piece is going to come out like that, and then I'm going to make it go like up here and back down, so I have a place to like mount my light bar other than my bumper. And then my license plate, I'll wrap it around the bar or whatever. I'm going to spray paint the bar black too. But I'm done for tonight, so I'll catch you next time I do it. Alright, so what we did is we just cut out 2 identical sized pieces. We cut them 15 inches. And what we did is, from where I mounted them yesterday, these are my mounts, and I put my bumper on, and I measured about how long, and I want it to stick out quite a bit but not too far, and 15 is right where I wanted it, because with the bumper on, it's like right here, and so that's like 4 inches I think of clearance in between, so I want it to have a little bit and not whatever. So that's what we're doing. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to weld one of them to that. We're going to make that all nice and clean and ready to weld, and same with that end piece. And we're going to weld it on, and then from there we're going to line the other side up. We're going to probably have to grind at a little bit of an angle and everything and get everything lined up like that. And so I'll get back to you after I weld that piece on. Go. Welding it on. These welds are fucking the best welds you've ever seen. Look at this, professionals, all that slack. It don't matter, we're not trying to make it look pretty. It's gonna be inside the car, and you're not gonna be able to see it whatsoever. And so I'm just gonna paint over it after I grind it down, make it look good.
The only thing that matters is as long as it holds.
We're not no experts. It's the first time we've ever actually like welded something with the $1 million welder. So this is what we're doing right now. We just got this first side on. We grinded all the surfaces to get them bare so it'll stick really nice, and that's what we're doing right now. Alright, I got the other one welded on. Whenever I stuck it on, it was a little high, so I ground the edge down to make it even, and I welded it on with these sick ass beads. But it's on there, and the only problem is the mounts actually pretty bad
But
or whatever.
it's
sturdy. We can shake the whole car with it up and down. Like if you watch the fucking hood though. And make sure when you're doing this, you disconnect the battery just in case, because you don't want to blow your whole wiring harness or have to replace like every single fuse. So make sure you do that. I should have said that earlier in the video, but do that. And so now that we have this, we're gonna line up the big bar and see what we can do with that. All right, so we just kind of tacked it together. What we did, I wanted it to stick out a little bit so I can go around my bumper. And so we measured it out on the same side. We got it on, grinded the edges down so it'll get a nice contact. Our ground's right here. And so that's what we're working with right now. Eric's being a faggot, and so this is what's going on right now.
Because if you cover it...
All right, we got it welded on, and this is sturdy, really sturdy. My whole car moves, you can step on it. And so we just welded it around thick. I don't care about the looks because I'm just gonna grind it down. We already kind of started right there. And then I'm gonna paint it black. It sticks out kind of far, but that's kind of what I wanted. And what we're gonna do now is I'm probably gonna cut this a little shorter, and I want this to come out somewhat around my bumper to protect me from the side. As you can see, I've already hit something, and I had to fix it. Right, Marky. Anyway,
inside joke.
Inside garage doing the big shop.
Anyway, and what I want to do, oh god, what I want to do also is go like that on the front. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut it at an angle. I want it to go here and be aligned with this, but I want it to come at an angle like that. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish the outside, then we're gonna worry about that later. And this is the only bit of pipe I have left, so we're gonna use the less thick pipe for that piece. All right, I wanted to see how good I did. You can see that that's pretty much perfect for how it is. But that's it. And now we're gonna figure out what to do with the side edges, and then how to do everything else, whatever. Okay. All right, so I got the second part done. All I did was I cut, these are 10 inches each, and I welded them on this pipe sideways, diagonal. I tacked it on. I measured, it was 8.5 inches for the top, and then I sliced it. Do I have those pieces? Yeah, you see right here. I sliced to make it flat, and you see I got a lot of filling in to do. That's already filled in, but I have this on. It's kind of sturdy. I'm gonna make it sturdy, and then I'll probably mount my light bar on here another day, not right now, or I might just keep it there. Oh no, I don't really know what I want to do yet because I just got it on. But this is my whole look. I made sure this side was equal with that side, and that side was equal with that side. And I actually think these are both 10 inches long each, so there's 10 inches on everything. And this pipe, I didn't even really plan on making it overhang. It's just what I had left, and I thought it looked cool, so I tacked it. And it's even too, which is nice. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just filling in the welds. I'm gonna grind down all these welds, get them looking clean. I'm gonna paint this too and get that done, but that's what's going on, and he's still being a faggot. All right guys, well I'm completely finished. I put my license plate back on with 2 zip ties on the top, and then I got a toe strap. I had one, but it was too long, so I got a shorter one, and this one's, the hooks, they have a little tab that you push in to take it off, and I already have my tow hook, my stock tow hooks that I actually mounted it to. See, like that one, but I hooked that one up, wrapped it around, and put it back. That's what that guy had, and I actually like the look a lot. But this is it, pretty much done. I was gonna go around, but I realized it wouldn't look that good. I might do it, but probably not, because I literally used every piece of that long metal pipe I did for this, so I don't have any left over. I have this pipe, it's a different pipe. That's what I was gonna use originally, but it was like really thin. I don't even know what it was made for, but I found this pipe in my backyard. It's a really thick, like a centimeter. I don't know, a centimeter, I don't know. But that's what it is. And then I got my light bar. I'm probably gonna mount my light bar to this or just keep it there. I'm not sure, because I'm gonna have to extend the wire from the light bar. But that's it. Got this nice look. Everyone's saying it looks like a zombie apocalypse, Mad Max kind of. I really like the style of it. It doesn't really flow with the car, but it looks like zombie basher, something like that. I'm probably gonna paint it black. I'm gonna keep it like gray for a while just to get used to it. Like I kept my wheels silver before I painted them black just to see what it looks like. But this is it. I'm pretty much done. I just had to weld 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces together with one really long piece that I used every single piece of, so it worked out perfectly for me. So that's it. Everyone really likes it so far, but that's it.